It's Francesca Evans from LymeOnline bringing you this week's top stories from the Lyme Regis area. 7 local organisations will benefit from more than £340,000 in grant funding from Lyme Regis Town Council over the next 5 years. Those to receive grants include the Marine Theatre, Lyme Forward, the Hub Youth Club, music charity Be Sharp, Bridport and District Citizens Advice Bureau and Axe Valley and West Dorset Ring and Ride. The biggest beneficiary by far was the Marine Theatre, granted £22,000 a year for the next 5 years, but this is still a considerable blow to the arts venue's funding, having been cut from £30,000. The council has reduced its budget for local grants from £130,000 to £80,000 a year, and has also completely changed its system for allocating funds. This resulted in some difficult decisions on Tuesday night. Councillors were tasked with dishing out £60,000 a year for the next 5 years, but applications totalled more than £167,000 in the first year alone. These term grants were intended to provide revenue support to organisations that were considered important to the local community and its well-being. After 2 hours of heated debate, 11 of the 18 organisations applying for funding were cut from the list, a process several members described as brutal. A further £20,000 in smaller community grants will be available in April, with organisations able to apply for £1,000 each from this fund. Cornish brewery St Austell has revealed its new look for the Rock Point Inn in Lyme Regis, which is expected to open in March. St Austell confirmed it had purchased the Rock Point from local businesswoman Gail Caddy in November 2018, and it has since been undergoing a full refurbishment. The renovations will bring together the pub and adjoining former fish and chip shop and kebab takeaway as one building, including a bar, dining area, new kitchen in the basement, guest bedrooms on the upper floors and outside seating areas. An artist's impression of how the prominent building will look from the outside has now been revealed, favouring a blue colour scheme over the former black and white frontage. The Rock Point is now expected to open in March. It will be St Austell's first pub in Dorset. A heavy police presence was seen in the Paul's Court area of Lyme Regis on Tuesday afternoon. Armed officers and police dogs were called to the scene, following reports that a man had been assaulted and held in a property against his will by another man known to him. The man who committed the assault was reportedly in possession of a kitchen knife. He was arrested on suspicion of false imprisonment and assault occasioning actual bodily harm, but was later released without charge. Detectives said they are not looking for anyone else in connection with this incident. The historic Axminster Carpets is hoping to avoid collapse for the second time in 7 years. The 265-year-old company is known for supplying high-quality carpets to Buckingham Palace and all Wetherspoon pubs. It is currently in talks with potential buyers, having filed a notice of intention to appoint administrators on Wednesday. Managing Director Jonathan Young said he was encouraged by the level of interest in investing in the brand. The company was previously one of the largest employers in the area, but about 300 of 400 jobs were lost when it went into administration in 2013. It was subsequently bought by a consortium led by private investor Stephen Boyd. Staff were then invited to take voluntary redundancy in September 2019. Up to 90 jobs are now thought to be at risk if the company enters administration again. After a disruptive few weeks of road closures and construction work in Lyme Regis, local traders are hoping to get those tills ringing with a push to shop local later this month. Lyme Regis will be taking part in the Totally Locally Fiverfest, in which independent shops, cafes and businesses up and down the country will be promoting special £5 offers to encourage shoppers. More than 20 businesses in Lyme Regis have already signed up to the campaign, which will run from February 15th to 29th. A full list and map of participating businesses will be available nearer the time. And now sport. With Lyme Regis first team's home game against Exeter University called off on Saturday because the Davy Falk ground was deemed unplayable, the Seasiders dropped down to 5th place in the Devon and Exeter Premier Division, their lowest position this season. At one time well ahead with their fixtures with points on the board, Lyme now have games in hand and are still capable of a top 3 finish. On Saturday, the Seasiders travelled to a Pottery, who have won just 3 of their 14 games this season, but are certainly no pushover. 3 points are essential if Lyme are to beat last year's 5th place in the table. Lyme Reserves moved out of the bottom 4 in Devon and Exeter Division 3 with an excellent 3-2 victory over 5th placed Winkley last weekend. with all 3 goals coming from Steve Beattie. Tomorrow they will be more severely tested, however, with the home game against second place Howell Seconds kicking off at 2:15 p.m. Lyme Rovers saw a disappointing 2-0 defeat last week by Wincham United reserves in the Jack Venn Cup, in which 3 players were sent off and the game abandoned after 82 minutes. They will be anxious to return to their Perry Street League Division 2 promotion bid, with an away trip tomorrow to struggling Crewcombe Rangers reserves. In Perry Street Division 1, last week's much-awaited local derby between Uplyme and Charmouth, both struggling at the foot of the table and in dire need of points, was called off because the Cherries could not field a team. Tomorrow, Uplyme are away to Ilminster Town A in the quarter-final of the Daisy Hutchins Cup. Thanks for watching LymeOnline's weekly news bulletin. Have a great week.